Good morning, I'm meteorologist Michael White in the Fox 10 Storm Tracker Center. Here's an update on Tropical Storm Ida. Now, this is as of 10 o'clock. The new update from the Hurricane Center has come in, and you can see that it looks on the satellite imagery that you can already tell Ida is strengthening. Ida is going to be rolling over the western edge of Cuba later today and could now become a hurricane as soon as tonight. Now, its speed and motion is still the same as it was earlier this morning. It's moving northwest at 15 miles an hour, but it is stronger. The maximum sustained winds are up to 65 miles per hour. It's possible Ida weakens slightly when it crosses land, but it's not going to be crossing a lot of land. And once it hits that open water of the Gulf, it becomes a hurricane by tonight. And we can see it becoming a Category 2 hurricane by tomorrow night. This is the latest track from the Hurricane Center office in Miami. This is projected to be the first major hurricane of the season, reaching Category 3 strength and making landfall in central Louisiana. It will be back to a tropical depression by Tuesday morning. So the good news is we are not expecting a direct landfall in our part of the Gulf Coast. The bad news is we're still going to be on the east side of the storm, and that's the bad side. That's the side that can deal with coastal flooding, possible storm surge. We could end up dealing with isolated tornadoes and, of course, a lot of wind and rain, but it would not be as windy as it's going to be closer to the center, where 120-mile-per-hour winds will be showing up in parts of southeastern Louisiana, even in New Orleans. Now, it will be back to a tropical storm by Monday morning. But notice that in that 12-hour span, Ida does not move much at all, which means southeast Louisiana is going to be getting hit hard for a very long period of time. The projected storm surge in this part of Louisiana is going to be about 7 to 11 feet. In our area, it's going to be about 3 to 5 foot storm surge. That includes the immediate coast and the Mobile Bay, but 7 to 11 foot storm surge projected for southeastern Louisiana. It will weaken, obviously, but still that rain, wind, and intensity is going to be tough to deal with. It is possible that we see Ida drag more to the east toward New Orleans. If it were to make landfall farther east, our risks of dealing with storm surge and tornadoes and higher wind speeds would increase. If Ida were to move more to the west toward Lake Charles, we would see our risks decrease because we'd be farther away from the center. But a lot of the models have been very consistent on central Louisiana being where the landfall will take place. You can see some want to drag it over toward the eastern part of the state, which would be bad news for us. The farther away we can get Ida from our section of the Gulf Coast, the better our weather is going to be. Now, here's the latest Fox 10 Futurecast. We're going to run this forward. And this has been trending very far to the west the last several model runs. And you can see that the center is now projected to arrive right there in western Louisiana. I do think our Fox 10 Futurecast is going a little too far to the west with that. If that were to verify, we would really see our risks decrease. But the European and the GFS, which is the American model, are both very consistent that central Louisiana will be the projected landfall. But we can't totally discredit this. It is something we'll just have to watch and monitor in future model runs, but thankfully none of them have put this thing closer to our area, but it's still going to bear watching, and it's still a possibility it could shift back to the east. Here's how the next 10 days stack up. The wettest days by far are going to be Sunday and Monday, and even when Ida's gone, it's going to leave behind enough moisture that we stay wet through Tuesday. Now, the second half of next week is going to look a lot better. We're expecting drier conditions, temperatures to get back up to around 90, and next weekend is a Labor Day weekend, the unofficial end of summer, and thankfully it looks like it's going to be really nice with much drier conditions, sun and clouds, and a high of about 90 degrees. We're going to keep you updated on Ida over the next several hours. We're also going to have full coverage with Jennifer and Jason later this afternoon on Fox 10 News beginning at 4.